Hello crochet artists, welcome back to the channel. For today's project, we're going to make a checkered top with sleeves. Here are the stitches that you need to know in order to make this project. Chain, slip stitch, single crochet, and double crochet. You can find the list of the materials in the description box, and if you're new to this channel, hello there. My name is Kath and I make crochet tutorials every week. If you find this video useful, please consider to subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and share this video to your friends. Begin with a slip knot and create a chain in multiples of 6. This chain will go from the armpit and down to the waist or down to the length of your choice. For my size, that would be 60 chains. When you have your chain, you're going to add an extra 2 chains. And then we're going to double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook and double crochet in each chain. End of row number 1. Continue with a chain of 3 for row number 2 and turn your work. Chain 3 will count as 1 double crochet stitch. From here we're going to make 5 double crochet stitch. Before finishing off the last double crochet stitch, we're going to drop the red yarn and insert our second color, which is the orange. And then we're going to pull through to finish off our last double crochet stitch. Now working with the second color, we're going to drop the red yarn. And then from here, we're going to make 6 double crochet stitches using the orange color. Feel free to use any type of color that you want. Before finishing off the last double crochet stitch, we're going to drop the orange yarn and pick up the red. And then we're going to pull through to finish off the double crochet stitch. Now with the red color, we're going to make 6 double crochet stitch. And at the very last stitch, we're going to switch to the orange color. And then using the orange color, we're going to make 6 double crochet stitch. So that will be the pattern that you will keep on repeating until you get to the end of the row. Make 6 double crochet stitch with the red yarn, switch colors, make 6 double crochet with the orange yarn. Do that until you reach the end. End of row number 2. Make sure that your red yarn or the non-working yarn is in between your working loop and your working yarn. So working yarn is the one on my finger and my working loop is the one on my hook. Continue with row number 3 with a chain of 3 and turn your work. Row number 3, we're going to make 6 double crochet stitch. Before finishing off the last double crochet stitch, drop the orange yarn and pick up the red yarn, then pull through. With the red yarn, you're going to make 6 double crochet stitch. Before finishing off the last double crochet stitch, drop the red yarn and pick up the orange yarn and pull through. Using the orange yarn, make 6 double crochet stitch. So switch colors in every 6 stitches and repeat this until you reach the end. At the end of the row, we're going to switch to the next color. So drop the red yarn and pick up the orange yarn and pull through to finish off the double crochet stitch. Now from here, make sure that the non-working yarn is in between the working yarn and the working loop. And moving on to row number 4, chain 3 and turn your work. Row number 4, you're going to make 5 double crochet in each of the next stitch. Once you have that, you're going to drop the orange yarn and pick up the red color, and then yarn over and pull through. Now with the red yarn, you're going to make 6 double crochet stitch. After that, you're going to drop the red yarn, pick up the orange yarn and pull through to finish off the double crochet stitch. And from here, we're going to make 6 double crochet stitch, and you're going to repeat this pattern until you get to the end of the row. At the end of the row, we're not going to change colors. So make sure that the non-working yarn is in between the working yarn and the working loop. So chain 3 and turn your work. Now still working with the red yarn, you're going to make 5 double crochet stitch and switch colors until the end of the row. From here, repeat row number 2, 3, 4, and 5 until the length of your panel will be able to wrap around your chest, but make sure to leave an extra space of about 1 inch for the last remaining row. All in all, I have about 61 rows in total. For the last row, we're going to chain 3 using the red yarn. So make sure that you're using the red yarn so that we can match the first row from the very beginning of the panel. So chain 3 counts as 1 double crochet stitch, and then make a double crochet in each of the stitch across. At the end, do not cut the yarn because we're going to be joining these 2 sides together. To connect both sides, we're going to slip stitch into each of the stitch and do that until you reach the top of the panel, leaving about 4 inches of the panel unworked. Fasten off and cut the yarn. Now turn your work inside out and we're going to start making the I-cord. For the I-cord, you're going to take your yarn and fold it in half, so make sure that you have 3 times the size of your intended length for the I-cord, and then create a slip knot. Insert the hook into the loop, and here we have the upper strand and the lower strand. Wrap the lower strand into the hook, yarn over, and pull through. Again, wrap the lower strand into the hook, yarn over, and pull through. You're going to repeat this until you have the enough length that you need for your I-cord, and you're going to secure the end with a knot. If you're working with an acrylic yarn, you can take a candle and then we're going to burn the tip of the I-cord just a little bit, just to make this more secure. Again, this technique only works with acrylic yarn. Repeat the pattern for the I-cord in order to make the second I-cord for the back side of the top. Next, place the I-cord through both of the ends of the front of the panel to create a sort of cinch. Position your seam at the middle or the center of the panel, and from here we're going to use our tape measure to measure the armhole. And for my size, that would be around 2 inches. If you prefer a larger armhole, feel free to add as many inches on there. And then we're going to join the yarn at the row where our measurement ends. From here, we're going to chain as many chains as you need in multiple of 6, all the way until you reach the back of the panel. For my size, this would be 60 chains, but since that's too loose for my shoulders, we're going to reduce that to 58 chains. Slip stitch to the opposite row at the back of the panel. And from here, we're going to be working around the armhole. So that is from the bottom and then all the way around. Now before doing that, we're going to count how many rows we have here from the middle seam all the way to the strap at the front. And then we're going to use that number as a marker to count how many rows we need for the other side of the panel. So I have here 12 rows in total, and we're going to place a stitch marker on there to mark the beginning where our yarn will be joined for the other side of the panel. Now we're also going to count how many rows we have here from the front strap all the way to the back strap. And we're going to use that number as a marker as to where we're going to attach the back strap for the other side of the panel. I have a total of 9 rows here for my size. To continue with the sleeve, we're going to make 2 single crochet in the row where our yarn was attached, and make 2 single crochet in each row across. Single crochet in each chain across. At the end of this round, we're going to slip stitch in the first single crochet stitch. And using the same yarn, we're going to chain 3. Chain 3 here will count as 1 double crochet or 1 stitch. Now make 1 double crochet in each of the next 5 stitches. Now before finishing off the last stitch, we're going to join the orange yarn or the second yarn, and using that color we're going to continue with 6 double crochet in the next 6 stitches. At the last stitch, we're going to switch back to the red and then pull through to finish off the last stitch. And using the red color, from here we're going to make 6 double crochet in the next 6 stitches. At the end of the round, we're not going to be switching colors here, so just slip stitch on the 3rd chain of the beginning chains with the red yarn or your first yarn. Now for round number 2, continue with a chain of 3. Again, chain 3 here will count as 1 double crochet stitch, and then follow the color from the previous round. So continue with that and then change colors at the end of the stitch of the last stitch. Here at the end of the last stitch, we're going to switch to the second color and then follow the pattern of the colors. Do this until you reach the end of the round. End of round number 3 for the sleeve. Before finishing off the last stitch, we're going to change or switch to the next color, and then with that slip stitch to the 3rd chain of the beginning chain 3. So that closes round number 3. Moving on to round number 4 with the same color, chain 3. Chain 3 here will count as 1 double crochet or 1 stitch. And then from there, we're going to make a double crochet in each stitch, changing colors in every 6 stitches all the way around. Once you finish round number 4, you're going to repeat that one more time. Once you have 5 rounds in total, you're going to repeat rounds 2, 3, 4, and 5 until the length of your sleeve will reach just below the shoulders. For my size, I have 10 rounds in total. At the end of the last round, we're not going to switch to a new yarn anymore. I have here the red yarn. Then we're going to slip stitch to the 3rd chain of the beginning chains to close this round. Now for the last round, we're going to chain 3 using the same color, and then we're just going to make a double crochet into each stitch. So we're not going to change color for the very last round. And then at the end of this round, we're going to slip stitch into the 3rd chain of the beginning chains, fasten off, cut the yarn, and weave in the ends. Now for the second sleeve, instead of joining the yarn from the front of the panel, we're going to flip our work and join the yarn from the back side instead. So remove the stitch marker from the back and join the yarn. Follow the pattern in the same way as the previous sleeve, fasten off, and weave in all of the ends. That ends our tutorial for today. If you find this video useful, please give us a thumbs up, share, subscribe. It really helps this channel immensely. We are also on Facebook and Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and Pinterest. Grab my crochet book, which has 20 creative patterns for beginners and intermediate artists, link in the description below. Thank you so much guys for watching, and I will see you on the next video.